Hello everybody, this is Wolfwood the Third here, and welcome to part 3 of my Let's Play of Agatha Christie's The ABC Murders. We're continuing on from last time, from part 2, obviously. At the very end of my last Let's Play, we had just received a second letter from the ABC murderer, which appears to hint at a crime being committed. It's not even a word. Committed in Bexhill-on-Sea, which is sort of on the English south coast. So what we're about to do now is go off to our old friend Inspector Japp, who kind of talks a bit like this, Poirot. We're off to see him at Scotland Yard, and I don't know, I suppose fill him in on what we've just uncovered. So let's get the hell out of here. Lovely. There is don't know if this is actually a Ford Model T, but you know, kind of old schooly automobile. Let's get inside. Let's see. Lovely. Right, London. No part of London I know. Alright, let's go up and speak to this bloke. Okay, looks as if we're in Inspector Japp's office now. There, I suppose we should go and speak to him. Oh, hello. We can observe something over here.
Like all hunters, Hastings has always been fascinated by weapons.
Oh, I see he's looking at a weapon there. Anything we can look about at? So, what's this over here?
Japp has invested a great deal in his career.
Medals board. Order of Merit Dispatch.
Japp is
Shooting
an investigator
trophy.
greatly respected by his peers.
There you go. Let's observe Japp at work. You're going right behind him there, really put him off.
Japp appears to be snowed under.
Okay. Ooh, teacup. Cup of cold tea. Never pleasant. Piles of files. So, I thought he said piles of flex. I don't know what on earth are flex. What else can we zoom in on here?
Japp appears to already be overloaded with work.
He's taking his
My
telephone
news
off
is
the
not
hook.
going to improve matters. Bonjour, Chief Inspector. I am afraid we have some bad news. I have just received another letter signed ABC. The next crime will be on the 25th in Bexhill-on-Sea.
Are you completely sure it's from the same person?
I have compared the two letters. There is no doubt about it.
I suppose you think he's going to carry out his threats.
I fear so.
Good God, Poirot. Bexhill is very busy at this time of year, and we have no idea who the next victim will be.
The killer is mad, so he's unpredictable. We can only hope that he will commit an error.
You surprise me, Poirot. I've often heard you say that even madmen follow a certain logic.
I didn't realize you had such a good memory, Chief Inspector. Bien, we should leave you to work, Chief Inspector.
You have a few days to prepare yourself.
Thank you for coming, my friends.
Poirot?
Chief Inspector Japp, your call does not bode well.
Indeed, we have just found the body of a young woman on the beach in Bexhill. An ABC was placed on the body.
We'll be there as soon as possible.
I told them. Why was no one paying any attention to me? Unbelievable. Utterly unbelievable. here we go, the beautiful seaside town of Bexhill. What's this area over here?
Bexhill seems to be a pleasant little town.
Modern bungalow. Victorian house.
Bexhill is a pretty little seaside resort with elegant architecture, although personally I prefer more modern buildings.
I see, Poirot. Oh, if only we had a run button. Bum 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 bum. There's Jap. Let's talk to him.
How do you do, gentlemen?
Chief.
I fear your admirer has struck again, Poirot. We haven't yet identified the victim, but it's a young woman, 20 to 25 years old. Death occurred last night between 11:30 and 1 o'clock, and we found an ABC guide on the body.
Was she pretty?
Come on, Poirot, that's rather out of place. There's no bearing on the murder.
Are you certain? For women, it is often the most important thing. It often decides their destiny.
The body hasn't been moved. You can see for yourself.
Rather chauvinistic comment there.
Has the press been informed?
Not yet, but I'm planning to. I haven't yet informed them about the presence of the ABC guide in Andover.
Nobody has reported a young woman missing?
Not for the moment.
No witnesses, I imagine?
Indeed. We've asked everybody who may have met a young woman fitting her description last night to come and see us, but I have little hope of gaining anything from it.
It's early
Okay,
days,
Jap,
Chief
thank you
Inspector.
for
The news
informing
may not
us
have
of
spread
your
around the town yet.
extremely enthusiastic opinions. You just kind of want to skip through all this bloody chat. It's so boring. Let's go and have a look at the body.
A braided silk belt. It may have belonged to the victim.
Okay, a silk belt.
Apart from the marks on her neck, there are no signs of the struggle. She didn't manage to hit her assailant. She was a great beauty. Strange that chap didn't notice it.
Maybe unlike you, Poirot, he's not going around assessing the aesthetic qualities of corpses. Yeah, this
These
neck,
marks
that looks a
have
bit
been
dodgy.
left by a rope or a braided cloth. This key is too small to be one for a house. Without a doubt, it is for a padlock.
Oh, the ABC timetable.
The guide is open at the page for the Bexhill train times. The young woman wasn't wearing shoes or a coat and was not carrying a bag. That's strange. Either the murderer stole her belongings or she put them somewhere safe. Maybe so that she could bath. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Loving how he's saying something different to what's coming up in the writing. Great voice direction there. So, little grey cells. How was the victim killed? What have we got to put in here? She did not struggle. I suppose that's probably quite relevant. What else? Another ABC guide, I suppose. Oh, wrong button, bugger. victim had none of her belongings. There was a braided silk belt. Okay, so at least one of these things I put in there has got to be wrong. The victim has marks on her neck. Let's try that. Oh, there we go. The victim was strangled by surprise with her own belt.
Must have been strangled with his braided belt. Unfortunately, in view of the fabric, it is unlikely that we will find any prints.
Delightful.
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Oh, more. More little grey cell work. Okay. What are the common points between the Andover murder and the one in Bexhill? Well, another ABC guide. Yep, definitely. The fact that it was open to the Bexhill page. There we go. The killer scientist crime with the ABC guide. Okay, are the crimes in Andover and Bexhill the work of the same murderer? Well, I should bloody well think so. She has just one wound in the back of her head. The victim has no marks on her neck. The press don't know. Letter announcing the Bexhill crime. I don't. Yeah, I suppose, yeah, the press. If no one else knows yet about the ABC murderer and using the kind of guidebook as a signature or calling card, what you will, let's pop that in. The two murders were premeditated and carried out by the same
The
person.
medical officer should confirm that the victim was strangled with her own belt.
That's what I thought. She shows the usual signs of strangulation.
With a little luck, we'll find prints this time.
You are too optimistic, Hastings. Our killer is far too meticulous for that.
That's it. Take that, Hastings. You complete nincompoop. Oh, hello. Can I observe something over here? Something flashed up for a second then.
This hut is locked.
Okay.
This hut is locked.
Wonder if they all are. Let's give them a try. Does that look like anything? Letters? No. Oh, numbers. 7, 1, 5. Okay. So do we now have the clue? Right, brilliant. Well, surely that links in with this padlock.
A dual locking padlock. I need to find the code and...
7, 1, 7, 1, 5. Use key. Voila. Excellent. Okay. Bolt open. Swah, in we go. Let's see what's up here. Okay, so we have a picture here.
Betty's first day at work. Mom is very proud of you. Elizabeth Barnard, 7 August 1931.
Mom is very proud.
Did have a name starting with B, and she worked as a ginger cat, an establishment that must be slightly further along the beach.
We know it is Poirot, we've just been there.
The purse is full. Yet again, we can dismiss theft at the motive. Here
Yeah,
is
I think
the
so.
watch
We are
she
dealing
must
with
have
an out-and-out
removed to
psychopath by the
prevent it
looks
from
of it,
getting
Poirot.
wet. A top brand lipstick. She liked to take care of her appearance. As well as a photo of the victim with some company. It could be useful to me? It definitely was here that the victim left her belongings.
Okay. Looks like we found all the clues
Jack
there.
has gone to the police. The victim has been identified and her family had reported her disappearance. She was called?
Elizabeth Barnard, mainly Betty. She worked as a ginger cat at the cafe slightly further along the beach.
But Poirot, how on earth?
Never mind. Do you have her address?
Yes, she lived with her parents on the street leading to the beach, number 22. Shall we go?
You are far too impatient, Hastings. Let the poor people take in the news first. Let us go and visit the cafe where Betty worked.
There always seems to be a bit of a smile playing on the edge of Poirot's lips in this game. I'm beginning to find a little disconcerting. And look how fast Hastings can walk. We can't walk that fast. Oh, okay, look, now we can look at this building.
Could it be the same buildings as on the victim's photo?
Okay, what do we need to zoom in on? Newspaper kiosk. Cupola or cupola.
This is definitely where the photo I found in the hut was taken.
Okay. Let's see now if we're allowed entry into the Ginger Cat restaurant. Surely we must be.
I'll be with you in a minute, gentlemen.
I see. Don't mind us, we're just investigating a murder. You're alright, carry on. Bloomin' heck.
Something tells me that she's the owner of the ginger cat.
Red hair. It's come up as if that's a bad thing. Strict appearance.
This woman must be the owner of the ginger cat. It looks like something is bothering her.
I'm a little puzzled as to why we've got to create
How can I help you?
well, fill some of these
Hot
observations. They
chocolate
seem
and a tea for
rather
my
pointless.
friend, please.
I'll bring it straight away.
Let's see. Okay, so she's buggered off. Can we now have a look at stuff behind the register? Or behind the sort of desk
I
here?
need to know the time range during which Betty was working on her own. This page won't help me.
Okay. So seems to be a sort of signing in, signing out sheet. So someone's obviously right 7 AM. Very, very largely. Okay.
Where is Betty? Betty worked from 11 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Would she have been alone at any time during her service?
I don't know. Let's see if her time crosses over with anyone else's.
Interesting. Betty was alone between 5 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Who did she serve?
Who did she serve? Okay. bowl of receipts here, it seems. Zooming in.
These are the different waiting staff's bills. Which ones were written by Betty?
Okay, I suppose we're only going to find out by having a closer look.
Most probably a single man, a whiskey lover. Maybe the murderer? This bill may have been written by Betty. There is probably another one.
Okay, let's go back. Let's try this one.
Most probably a family. Betty served a family and a man on his own, a whiskey drinker. Maybe the murderer. This information will help me to progress.
Excellent.
But, gentlemen, what are you doing?
Oh,
We are searching
rumbled.
for clues, mademoiselle. My name is Hercule Poirot. I am a detective, and this is Captain Hastings. Does Betty Barnard work here?
That is correct. She should have been here a while ago. Punctuality is the first rule of politeness.
She's dead!
I fear
Dead, I
that Miss
tell ya!
Barnard will not be coming today. She has just been found, dead, on the beach a few hundred meters from the cafe.
How awful. Poor young thing. What happened?
Doesn't seem really
She
shaken
appears
up
to
by
have
this.
been murdered.
This is most distressing. How this will affect my business, I shudder to think.
Well, that's kind of you. I'm
What
just
can you tell
asking
us
as
about
well,
Miss
Betty.
Barnard?
Nothing, absolute indeed.
This photo was found. Is this him?
Yes, that's him all right.
So that's
But I haven't
apparently
seen him for some
the person
time.
in the photo is Betty's boyfriend.
I find young people today very hard to understand.
You needn't tell me that. A few weeks ago, they argued just outside the cafe. Imagine what my customers must have thought.
She really is the full of the milk of human kindness.
Do you know the reason for the dispute?
I'm not on those sort of terms with my staff. Now, please excuse me, I have work to do.
All right. Bloody hell.
The customer who ordered the whiskey might provide us more information. He may have been the last one to see Betty alive.
It is an interesting idea, Hastings. Maybe he is a regular guest. What do you think, mademoiselle?
I don't think so. Our regular guests tend to order tea and cakes. At this time of the year, there are a lot of tourists about you never see again.
That's what I thought. Time to visit Betty's home.
Let's get away from this bristling old prude. Get out of here. I'm trying to act the same way as Hercule. I'm trying. Okay, now we need to find Betty's house. I'm gonna follow Hastings. Maybe Hastings he seems to be walking along here with a bit more purpose than me. Yeah, there we go.
How do you do, mademoiselle? My name is Hercule Poirot.
I know you. You're that detective we hear all about.
I do not know if that is a compliment, but I will take it as one for now. You are Betty's sister, I believe?
Yes. My name is Megan.
Can we come in?
Please do. My parents are at the police station. I doubt they'll be up to speaking to you later.
Do not worry, we will not bother them.
Did you know your sister's plans for yesterday evening?
No. I arrived by train this morning. My parents called me in a panic when they discovered that Betty had disappeared. She went out last night, but she didn't tell them where she was going.
What was your last conversation about?
Her new dress. She wanted a pair of black stockings to go with it. Mother brought her a pair. The very day it happened. She was crying. And to think that Betty never even wore them. Poor Mummy.
Okay. Let's go upstairs.
It would not be polite to visit the house without being invited to do so.
Alright, alright, alright. Well, we've got to talk to her first before we can do that then.
What is she feeling at the moment?
Hard stare. Photo frame.
Mr. Poirot, I don't like being stared at. If you have something to say, would you please say it to me?
I will in a moment. Just let me stare a little bit longer.
Betty's older sister is not just sad, she's angry.
Ooh.
Did Betty go out often?
My sister wasn't a child, sir. She used to go out. She enjoyed films, dancing. She was a very good girl who didn't hang around with men. That's what they always say, no?
The pain is making you bitter, Mademoiselle Barnard.
I'm not interested in your compassion, Mr. Poirot.
Très bien, mademoiselle. Could you at least tell me a little about Betty's young man?
I can't win with these people, can I? Try and be nice.
A very nice young man. Oh, excuse me, I have to answer that.
But of course.
Betty's room is opposite the stairs on the first floor. Feel free to take a look if you think it might be useful.
I think it might be.
This young woman is far too clever not to have anything else for us.
Do you think she's hiding something?
That is what I'm trying to find out.
I reckon she is.
Surely you don't think she did it?
I did not say anything of the sort. But young women always ruin your judgment, Hastings.
The
Who knows? Maybe Megan
dog.
was jealous of her attractive young sister.
I see. She may have had her sights on the inheritance. Or maybe she was in love with Donald Fraser.
We have to study all scenarios, even the most unlikely. But I doubt that Mr. and Mrs. Barnard are rich enough to justify murder. While I try and get Miss Barnard to talk, I would like you to try and find Donald Fraser. It should be easy to find the estate agents where he works. Bring him to the Ginger Cat. I would like to talk with him before the Chief Inspector finds him.
Yes, because Inspector Japp will probably bore him to death with an incredibly boring train spotter voice. Okay, up in Betty's room. Again, there's the bed. I'm sure that's where the magic happened with Donald. Let's go.
It looks like Betty was also a music lover, the same as her family. Without a doubt, Betty used to sing.
Another brilliant deduction.
It looks like Betty has a very busy life.
Menu for stylish restaurant. invitation for a dance. And
She
a,
liked
and a cinema
luxury and
ticket. She had
going
it all
out.
on the go.
And being as pretty as she was, she probably did not have any problem getting herself invited.
Again, I'm really quite disturbed by Poirot's insistence of how pretty she is. She is now a corpse.
A record sleeve with an handwritten title. Betty must have recorded a demo. I'd be interested
demo?
to hear it. This small key should be useful to me.
I reckon it should be.
Medicine to prevent voice loss. Did Betty have
What is over here?
something on this clock bothers me. There, that's better.
Oh, okay. Okay, so that's in place now. Maybe that'll have some effect on this. Oh, hello.
This leg is not what it had.
Yeah, well, can I move it? We can move it, but with great difficulty.
Good. It should be possible to open the wooden panel.
What wooden panel? This one?
Look, a key.
Well, hey, voila.
This could be useful.
Fantastic. Okay. What's this on the door? Let's have a better look. 3 line and a 2. 1 line and a 2. Okay. I'm sure that's going to have some relevance. Let's see. Maybe something to do with this.
What a strange mechanism. I don't think it serves to turn hands.
Let's just try moving some of this stuff about. Okay. Where to next? I'm trying to think if there's any correlation between what I've seen so far and what's going on here. Let's just muck about with it. That'll do. Okay. Well, something happened. Use that.
The central cock is blocked.
Okay. Let's try it on another one. Here we go.
Something clicked on the front of the clock.
My God. Lord only knows what she's hidden in here. Okay, let's use the key again. In it goes. What have we got stuffed in here?
This could be useful.
I'm sure they will be. They were hidden hardly
Betty,
enough, weren't they?
I enjoyed a wonderful evening in your company, and I hope that we will see each other again very soon. D. My dearest Betty, I know that your art is already spoken for, but you are the most beautiful dancer I have ever had the pleasure of meeting, and I am impatient to see you again. Adrian.
I see. So it would appear that Betty was a bit of a girl, and she looked like she had two fellas on the go. So, yeah. What it might have done for her. Okay, let's
I
get
have
the hell
not
out of here.
finished inspecting.
Oh, okay, we haven't finished inspecting. My God, is he checking himself out in the mirror? Oh my, and it gave me ego points. Wow. Do I get more ego points if I check again? No. We've checked that. We found both of those things. Okay. Maybe we have to check everything before it will let us leave.
Looking at all the clothes she took out, Betty must have had a problem deciding what to wear. Maybe she had a date?
Okay, what can we look at down here? Piano, piano, piano.
The Barnard appeared
Poirot
to make
is the
music
music
a
man.
priority in their budget.
And you know what? He comes from round your way. Worn furniture. Violin.
They're all Miss Modest, but the Barnards are definitely music lovers.
Okay. What's this over here? Oh, okay. Looks like it's another puzzle. Let's have a look at this bit first. Okay, so we've got a key here. Maybe that will open this.
Let us see. What is this cupboard hiding?
Did he just say cupboard? A record? Oh, what in the blue hell is that? Oh my
This
sweet
looks
lord.
like solfège.
Okay, that doesn't mean... yeah. Let's go back. Let's see. Can we open this? Oh, right.
There is bound to be a
Something
clue
plus
somewhere.
something. So something plus something plus something equals squiggly line. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I really don't know. Okay, so I think, having puzzled over this for a little bit, I think I've got it. Right, no, let's go back to the beginning. Pretty sure that wasn't the beginning. That was. So, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is what I'm trying to remember what I've written down here. Let me just check. So 4 back. I think possibly 4 back on this. Okay. And the final one, 5.
I heard the sound of a mechanism
There we
being
go.
triggered.
So, anyone playing? Back 4, back 4, back 5. And it shall unlock and save you a lot of fiddling about like I had to do. Okay. So let's find out what's opened. What did open? Was it in here? Oh no, that's that bit of paper. What new compartment has opened? Something must have opened. Yeah, I know all about that. It's not that we don't need this anymore.
That doesn't work.
Oh, here we go. This has opened up. Right, let's have a look. For people that don't have a lot of money, they certainly can afford some very intricate ways to hide some pretty nondescript items. Okay. Okay, again here guys, I'm going to show you what I've already, well, something, well, this is what the correct code is, for those of you who just want to know. So 7, 8.
I just have to put the record on the gramophone and start it.
Yeah, it's a good job most gramophones aren't as hard as this. Otherwise no one would have listened to music ever. Ever. Okay, so that's the gramophone top. Right, I want to... Okay, so do we have to get this bad boy started first? Where does this go then? Obviously not there. Oh, for goodness sake.
It looks like something goes in here.
Okay, here we go. That goes in there. Let's get this wound up.
That doesn't work. I must have forgotten a step.
Have a look at the front. Okay, that's gone back. Put the record on. That down, and then
Oh, Donald! We're in the middle of recording.
Sorry, Betty, but it's not wise. The doctor said you should risk your voice.
You're such a killjoy sometimes.
Betty was such a good singer.
It's true. Did she have any problem with assault?
Yes.
Okay, so video kind of cut out there. While Betty's sister was telling us that she had to take care of her voice, the doctor told us to rest it. That was the basic gist of that. Okay, so let's go back and we can observe her again.
Like this
Okay.
woman is single, but she has feelings for someone.
No wedding ring. Betty and Donald photo. Find the eyes.
She's looking so
Eyes brimming with
intensely at
tears.
this photo. But is it really a sister that she's studying in this manner?
I would hope it isn't Poirot.
They made the perfect couple, am I correct?
Yes, in a way. She was pretty and he...
Well,
He's a bright man, with a promising career ahead of him. He would have made Betty a good husband. He was always attentive and generous. Oh, a true gentleman.
I hear a note of envy in your voice.
You must have heard wrong.
I don't think I did.
Donald appeared to be very much in love with your sister.
Yes, he was mad about her.
Mad, you say? Being madly in love can often be destructive, and Mr. Fraser was known for being jealous, I believe.
No more than average. Men are always slightly possessive, especially when they are with a pretty woman.
Okay.
You are a poor liar, Mademoiselle Bernard.
Excuse me, Mr. Poirot, but I do not see why you are interested in our humble little crime.
Humble?
It would
Your
appear that
sister's
your
dead.
sister's murder is the second in a series that we have to stop as quickly as possible. The first was in Andover, and the same as your sister, the murderer sent me a letter informing me that a crime would be committed in that town. Now can I count on your honesty?
Yes, you have my confidence, Mr. Poirot. Don is a quiet and sensitive young man. Slightly reserved, too. And as is often the case with reserved people, when he flew into a temper, he completely lost control. He could be so violent. Betty was frightened.
And when was this?
The first time was about a year ago. But they rowed more recently. Donald found out that Betty had lied to him. She said she was going out with a girlfriend, but she went out for dinner with a married man. It was an awful scene. She told him that until they were married, she was free to go with whoever she pleased. Donald turned quite pale and started shaking and kept saying one day... he would commit murder.
So you were afraid that he would become our main suspect. I know that Fraser was jealous, but I wonder why you feel the need to protect him.
Exactly. Had you not told me about the case, I would never have dared to tell you about this little matter. Don loved Betty with all his heart. I can't imagine for one instant that he would hurt her.
Very good, Mademoiselle Bernard. Thank you for your help.
And that went pretty well as the interviews we've had so far have gone.
Fraser is at the Ginger Cat. The police haven't spoken to him, but they want to.
Très bien, Hastings. Let's see him now. Au revoir, mademoiselle. My deepest condolences.
Of course, Mr. Poirot. And don't be too hard on Don. He's more fragile than he looked.
If you say so. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay. Some things to work out with the little grey cells. Let's have a look. What had Betty planned to do with her evening? Oh, let's see. Well, she definitely lied to Donald. We know that. Betty had planned to meet someone that evening. And I think she possibly was seeing other men. Oh, there we go. Betty lied to Donald because she had a date with another man. Did Betty know her assailant? I don't know. Marks on her neck. The man seduced Betty before asking her to...
Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Okay, more deducing to do here. What is Megan Bernard's behaviour hiding? Oh, she must like Donald, surely. Yeah, she was looking at the photo. And... surely she liked him. Yeah, there we go. Did Megan Bernard have a motive for killing her sister? Betty was seeing other men. Megan was jealous of Betty. I think we could have worked that one out, since she didn't really seem to give a crap that her sister had died. Right, let's get out of here. She's making me sick. 10 ego points, sweet lord. Will wonders never cease.
You've seen Fraser, Hastings. What is your feeling?
He's a big chap. Fragile isn't exactly the word that springs to mind. I talked to his landlady before seeing him. She went to bed at 11. Fraser wasn't home.
Bien. Megan Barnard said he is a reserved character but with a nasty temper. We will see if this is the case. How do you do, Mr. Fraser?
You Hercule Poirot. Mr. Hastings said you wanted to speak to me.
Aye, that's right, Sonny. We
Yes.
want to speak to you.
I know that it may not be at the right time, but I would like to ask you a few questions.
Let's observe him, see if we can pick up any.
This man looks suspicious.
Yeah. Are we trying to zoom in on here? His tie, crumpled clothes, dark circles under his eyes.
Donald Fraser is in a terrible state, as if he hadn't slept all night. And he's drinking White Horse.
I don't know what White Horse is, but it sounds
Leave me alone.
terrifying.
Tell me that it's a mistake. That Betty isn't dead.
He can't
Sadly,
do that, lad.
Your lady friend
She
has
is.
been murdered,
She's
Mr.
gone.
Fraser.
Oh, Betty, if only you'd listened.
Did you visit Betty yesterday afternoon?
No, I haven't seen Betty for 2 days. I was at the office yesterday afternoon.
Can you prove that?
Of course. But why this question? Betty died yesterday evening, didn't she?
Betty was murdered during the night, but that does not prove that she did not meet a murderer earlier in the day.
So, am I a suspect?
Everybody close to Betty is a suspect, Mr. Fraser. I would be a very poor detective if I did not examine all possible eventualities. Do you know what Betty's plans were yesterday evening?
She said she was having dinner with her sister.
And you believed her?
And why not, sir? She was my fiancée.
That did not stop her from lying to you before. Betty was not a bad girl, but she did like to take advantage of her success with men.
How dare you sully her memory?
How dare ye?
I am not interested in memories of her, Mr. Fraser. I am looking for a killer, and I need you to be my closest ally. That is, unless you have something to hide.
Of course I don't.
Très bien. So, what were we saying? Where were you yesterday evening?
I looked everywhere for her, but in vain. When she said she was going to have dinner with her sister on a weekday, I thought it was strange. I tried not to think about it, but I was like a lion in a cage. I was convinced she was lying. So I went round all the restaurants in the town. When I didn't find her, I went to the next town. But nothing. I must have got home about midnight or 1 o'clock.
Did anybody see you?
I don't think so. I didn't talk to anybody. I was so furious.
Ah, I knew I'd find you here, Poirot. I thought the victim's young man was here.
Okay,
Yes,
Jap.
he's a Chief Inspector.
Is there a train you should be writing down
Let's
its
now
number
try
for
and
somewhere?
get how Brent sails to work.
Oh, that's not fair on train spotters. I apologise. Jap is even poorer than that. My lord. He could give paint drying a run for its money. Okay, did Donald have a motive for Betty's murder? Well, I kind of think so. Yeah, Betty used to go out a great deal. And apparently he's got a temper. Does Donald have an alibi? No, he hasn't got an alibi. Does Donald have a motive for all the murders? Well, of course not.
Fraser doesn't have an alibi and he's extremely...
You are very skilled at summing up.
And yet you haven't asked Jap to arrest him.
It is too soon. But I agree. Without the letters announcing the crimes, Fraser would already be behind bars. Bon, I think we have enough elements. Let's reconstruct the events at the scene of the crime.
Well, hey, the
I
reconstruction.
can't imagine how the murderer wasn't seen, though. Surely she must have struggled.
Let us try and imagine the scene.
We're going to start the reconstruction now.
The killer and the victim
Oh,
are
there's
walking
Betty
on the beach.
walking
Miss
along.
Betty has a bag, a belt around her waist, and carries her shoes in her hand. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 5. Both of them walk slowly to hut number 6. Miss Betty enters the hut. She leaves without her belongings. Then she hides a coat. They keep walking. Then she removes her belt.
The murderer moves behind her and then attacks her by surprise. The body falls, lifeless, on the sand.
Thank you, Hastings.
Everything appears to match the crime scene. But by signing his crimes, the murderer is making sure he's accused. In a way, it is very
So
generous.
we successfully reconstructed that crime.
Generous? The murderer seduced Betty in order to lure her to the beach and kill her.
Indeed, the young woman was certainly careless, but not stupid enough to follow a stranger.
What are you planning to do, Poirot?
Return to London, mon cher Hastings.
Okay, and I think that will draw our third part of this Let's Play to a close. As ever, thank you to everybody who has stayed with me throughout this. I hope you've enjoyed it. And again, as always, please feel free to like, comment or subscribe. Wolfwood out.